All right, it's time once again for everyone's favorite podcast that comes out on Friday, the Blaze Scream Podcast. Dun 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 dun. I have not one Nick, but two Nicks, like we kind of do every Friday as of late. But we got the Nick squared.
Hello.
We got Nicky G. God damn it, Nick. I'm making this all like, yeah! And then, hello! And then we have Nick! That's what I'm talking about! Let's make people have to turn down their computers because they're trying to watch this in the middle of the night and everyone's like, or listen to this in the middle of the night and then trying to make sure no one wakes up and then, I don't know. Yeah, we don't need to be that loud, people, because, I don't know. So, anyways, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
You good?
All I can say is boo.
Works. Alright. Yeah, I fucking my entire Friday today, I've just been doing recordings so far. Cause,
Me too.
oh yeah. This is your first one, buddy.
It's also the only one.
I don't expect any more.
And the only thing I have done today.
Basically, I have done this I'm still putting up to this other thing to basically keep shit on our site constantly, where Brandon will be talking with Brandon about just random games, cause, we've actually been able to span out this podcast so we don't have to do reviews anymore. Well, I mentioned many times, I have a weird sickness where if I beat a game, I feel like I have to review it. So, yeah, so now I'm basically, and I'm gonna start doing this for our actual reviews too. I'm basically just gonna have a video of the gameplay going while we're just doing reviews. So it's kind of a video review, but for not like common, like, well, I really hate it when, right here we're shooting because that requires me to lip sync stuff, and honestly this is just kind of a little side thing I'm doing, just, it's like the random games that Brandon decides to play. And, like I said at what I did for Spec Ops The Line, yeah, I don't fucking care. It's my spoil whatever. Yeah, what I said for Spec Ops The Line I'm taking suggestions, people. So if there's a game that maybe you don't think anyone's checked out and you really like me to check it out, let me know. I mean, I'm not saying like, I am the best reviewer ever. You want me to review your game. No, but it's just, it's just something you want me to check out, let me know. Yeah, awesome. So, anyways, you know what I'm excited for today, guys? Because I already told you guys this, but fuck it, everyone else doesn't know. The top 5 that we will get to. This is the top 5 for July 13th, 2013, of course. I just wanted to add that. And guess what's not top 5?
Mario Kart 64.
Well, yes, that's a good guess. No. What's not on the top 5? Luigi's Mansion's not on the top 5. MLB 13's not on the top 5. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, not in the top 5. Minecraft, not in the top 5.
What about Call of Duty Black Ops 1?
That would be amazing if it was. Okay, but you know it is sad because number 5 is something we had last week. Animal Crossing New Leaf. No one fucking cares. Number 4.
People care, just not anyone who should be watching this. Listening to this.
Even the people who cared have heard us pretty much almost 3 weeks now talk about the same fucking game. There's nothing more we can add to this.
Let's talk about it again!
Alright, since Nick wants to talk about it again, we'll talk about it again. Animal Crossing, it's animals that cross, I think.
Not even close.
I don't really fucking know what it's about. Oh wait, you said no, it's like Amish the video game, isn't it?
It's about a bloody serial killing villager who's fed up with his life. He kills everyone and then moves on to Super Smash Bros.
That would be so fucking cool. That would be so cool. I want a developer to do this. I want them to show just gameplay footage of this like nice little fun game. Da 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 da. And you're like, oh, this is ass. And then that one person who plays it, and then all of a sudden it kind of starts out that way, and the character looks at the screen and says, enough! And just grabs a hatchet knife, and just starts just going after everybody. You get to like kill a whole neighborhood full of people, and it just like manhunt. Oh dude, that would be so fucking cool. Oh, I want games to do more things like that, where they're like, oh, you're playing this game? Oh, what now? Like Animal Crossing adds werewolves, and they start killing everybody. Oh. But anyway.
There could be a lot of pissed off parents.
Well, they would have, the ESRB would make it rated M because they would.
And everyone would be like, why is this game rated M? I don't understand.
Exactly.
I must play it to figure out why it's rated M.
Oh. Playing your game, and you get a bunch of people being like, this is one of the greatest games ever. Once you get past that boring beginning bullshit, you get fucking serial killers and werewolves.
Really drag it out. Make like the first third of the game is just the happy life.
Happy life, and then your character just turns into a serial killer. And then
and your character one day.
It's like, I am tired of shitting in a pot. I am tired of no electricity. I am tired of all these fucking animals. Who's cleaning up after them?
Still nothing to do with Animal Crossing.
People who play Animal Crossing are like, wow, he has no idea what this is about, does he? You know what I am happy about? In a game I almost bought. Guys, I literally almost bought this. It's the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection. That's number 4. It has Metal Gear Solid 1, it has Metal Gear Solid 2, it has Metal Gear Solid 3, it has Metal Gear Solid 4, then it has Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker. The only reason why I came so close because I own the HD collection and I own 4. I'd basically be getting this for Metal Gear Solid 1. But then I was like, no, Brandon, that's not smart. No, you don't need to spend $40 for an old PS1 game. I am a Metal Gear whore. I really like the Metal Gear Solid games, so.
One of these days I'll play them.
If you ever had, I understand you don't really get to play your PS3 that often, but if you ever do, let me know. I will let you borrow. I own them all except 1. And honestly, with 2, you don't really know what happens in 1 to understand 2 because you play a different character anyways. The Metal Gear Solids, Nick, you did play Rising. They're about the same amount of crazy, but they're less action, like less hack and slash and more stealth. But you still have like the crazy guy who's a bee commando and his entire body is filled with bee stings and stuff, so he's really just a puffy mess. And you got like the guy he's basically like Wolverine. His name's Vamp, and he can't be killed because, it gets crazy. Once you get into Metal Gear Solid 4, it doesn't make no sense if you haven't played any of the other ones. I was glad I played 2 and 3. I would not have understood what the fuck was going on. So they're great games. They really are. Nikki G, you ever play a Metal Gear game?
No, but I have listened to the soundtracks and I really love it. The music to the game.
Nikki G, you have a PS3. You play your PS3. You come over to my house. You will take the collection, and you are not. Yes, you will do a full fucking playthrough.
Why does the HD connection not include 1?
My theory on that is it's a pain in the ass to revamp PS1 games, to be honest. But make a PS1 game up to, HD standards probably takes a lot more time.
Probably also because your PS3 can still play PS1 games.
I don't know, because this Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection has it with it. So, I don't know why when they first released the HD collection... Goddamn dog. Well, when they first originally announced the HD collection, why they didn't just add 1 along with it? Because honestly, 4 is already on the PS3, and it looks amazing. It's actually it's still, in my opinion, one of the best looking PS3 games out there. I mean, it is up there home. Yeah,
really?
The cutscenes look amazing.
Better than Naughty Dog?
It's up there with Naughty Dog. Let's put it that way, because it's Naughty Dog has seamlessly. It's kind of like they look very close. Cutscenes and Metal Gear is pretty close to that, but it really Konami or Hideo Kojima, he does an excellent job. And talking about Metal Gear, I have to say right now, Metal Gear Solid 5 is one of my fucking favorite. It already is going to be one of those games. Bored for fuck's sakes, and I don't even pre-order games, and that's one of those ones I pre-order. It's that and The Witcher 3. I mean, those are the 2 ones that I'm just like, oh, no. Anyways, that's number 4. Number 3 is The Last of Us, which, Nick, I know you are playing currently. What do you think of it?
It's not what I expected. I mean, it is what I expected. I didn't expect to be like 20 years after the outbreak. I've never seen something go so far into the future.
That's one thing I respected about that. The game literally goes through every single zombie trope in the world. It goes through all of them. And a fair warning, like I've said it many times, but if you think the game is over, it's not over.
Well, and also, I've never seen a zombie outbreak so infectious that it makes you go blind after years of infection.
Cool. And technically they're not, of course, because you could just shoot them in the chest and they'll die. I mean...
Yeah, I'm just... the infected... I
guess, you know what, in a way, they can be zombies. Because, just because they're not, you don't have to shoot them in the head to kill them, they could just change the lore a little bit. You don't have to shoot them in the head, but they're still technically the undead, So we don't know. I really don't know.
And it's really just infected people, but like I've never seen a infection like this kind of movie where, the outbreak happens really fucking fast, and then it fast forwards 20 years into the future when society's starting to rebuild into some dystopic future.
Now, I'd ask you guys, both of you, post-apocalyptic question. Do you guys believe if we had something like a disease that wiped out a lot of people or nuclear war, that if there was the few survivors left in this world, would we all just turn into assholes? Would every human being just be that, the typical, like everyone looks after themselves and if you touch my mic and I'll fuck you? Or do you think people would be kind of like, well, there's like, maybe 20,000 of us left. We need to really band together and try to get society going again.
I think it'd go both ways. There are definitely some people out there who'd be the selfish pricks, like you.
Oh, yes.
But also, there'd be the people out there who would try to look for others, we can't survive, united we stand kind of thing.
Who rules Cleveland? I don't know. Who rules Bartertown? Brandon rules Bartertown.
I'd imagine it'd be one of those things where, it's kind of those things where it's just, the strong would have to survive, and the only way you would have to kind of, I don't want to say, exactly weak people, but, younger kids, people, you'd have to have something next to you. You have the people who look after the other people and protect them. Otherwise, it's going to be, a bunch of hardened criminals,
maybe,
possibly.
End up with some of the, Mexican gang from the first season of The Walking Dead, where they come off as hard asses, but they're actually just taking care of the old people.
Well, yeah, I actually like that a lot, too. I was just like, a bunch of assholes tell you, they're just taking care of the old people. Those guys are cool. I don't know why they act like they're gangsters the whole time. I was like, who cares? They're cool now, Bato. God damn it. Now I'm just thinking the whole time with Nick saying, like, well, you'd be, just have the bacon and walk away. Just walk away. Oh, God.
No one would waste a bullet on you. Too precious.
Yeah, oh, God. Yeah, no, I would, if I ever hear, like, North Korea is about to send a nuke over here, I'm buying myself in with a lot of ammo. No one's touching me. Number 1 and number 2 in the top 5 is NCAA football 14.
Oh.
It's a sports, people like college sports. I don't know who. Who people really like college sports are people who grow up in states that don't have professional sports. Oklahoma doesn't have a professional football team, so they would love to have a living shit out of this. So, yeah, that's, or maybe people go to a big, I go to CU, go CU. I was like, fuck off. It doesn't affect you if they do good or not. You know what it does, Eddie? Your team does, so you have to pay more. Oh, amazing how that works out, guys. Yeah, I'm glad I go to a college where, I think they have like a lacrosse team or some bullshit. A sport that no one gives a fuck about. Yeah. So, I don't really know what we could add to NCAA 14, except for that one was literally missed my radar because it's a sport game. So yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Don't care. That's top 5. It's new games. Let's hope, they're probably not going to change, honestly. The rest of the month, we're going to probably be talking about that. Maybe Call of Duty will come back and we're like, fuck Call of Duty again. Yeah. The one I was really happy for was Metal Gear did really well. I almost want to buy that collection. One game I want to talk about, and I'm just getting to talk about again in our news section. Witcher 3 rides to North America, courteous of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is back with CD Projekt to, promote. Basically, Warner Brothers is going to basically throw their money in with The Witcher 3 to make sure that we actually see advertisements and promote the game of The Witcher 3. It's a slow news week, people. Forgive me. But, you know what? It's going to come out sometime in 2014 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And god damn it, I'm so excited for this fucking game.
You guys can't see right now. Brandon's nipples are
No.
they are perky and
He's
naked cut
Triceratops.
glass.
Thank you, Nick. It's like, but yeah, Nick told me the other day about Triceratopsing, and just looking at this screenshot of The Witcher 3, I'm totally Triceratopsing right now. Triceratopsing, people, for people who don't know, is when your nipples and your penis is hard at the exact same time. And oh my god.
Maximum level of excitement.
It is the maximum level of excitement. Just seeing Geralt of Rivia riding a horse in an open Skyrim-like world. Holy fuck. Something they are changing though, which I don't know how I feel about this, because I kind of like the things. First of all, I'm glad they took out this. They said they kind of rumored a multiplayer. They trashed that. There's not any multiplayer, which, yeah, it's going to be, it means they can focus on a single player experience that, makes you just want to just make love to the CD. And then they're going to have, they're getting rid of the QuickTime events. Nick, you remember those sort of QuickTime events from The Witcher 2?
Yeah.
I like those, honestly, because those were like a finishing move, in my opinion. I liked them. Because when you had like then X, and it will take the end of his sword, the handle, and he'll shove it in some dude's neck, and I'm just like, that's fucking cool! Why would you take that out? The only ones I really kind of remember at times were like the ones where, I mentioned it. Fuck, the only one I can think of is like a real kind of big spoiler to the, I know that's not a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler because of course you're gonna fight this thing. Fighting the dragon. When you fight the dragon in The Witcher 2, it had QuickTime events, if I remember correctly, didn't it?
Well, not when I fought the dragon.
I thought you had one where you basically jam on X, and then that was it. It wasn't like God of War, like X, Y, B, and you had to keep doing it. But
Yeah, but you remember, I mean,
you had
I
a
fought
different story, didn't you?
yeah, I had a completely different story than you did.
Which I
And-
thought was so,
Yeah.
Oh, God. You know what kind of sucks, Nick? Being that you and I are both getting a PS4, because I don't know if this game was going to do the Mass Effect thing, where it continues your story. Well, even if it did, because, there's no way for you, I don't know how unless they just let you pick what happened during your Witcher 2 story. I mean, I don't know if this is going to just do that thing that kind of bugs me about some games, where, you can have a completely different story, but they're just going to pick the good story or whatever type of thing.
Or, I don't know, maybe it'll just,
Because there's literally, if I remember correctly, there was 12 different endings you could have to this game. To The Witcher 2.
shit.
To Witcher 2, Witcher 2, there's 12 different endings you can have to it.
yeah, but maybe it'll just do, what this and one did, where it kind of alludes to one, but it's not important to the story.
It might. I mean,
And it'll just-
that's very possible. But, I mean, granted, I know they're going to do that, because no matter what ending you got in The Witcher 2, it kind of has that grand ending of saying, well, this is what really, this is coming. But,
Oh yeah, the seeing army march.
yeah, the certain army from a certain area coming up to fight. And of course that's gonna happen, but there are certain characters that may not have been killed in The Witcher 2 that could make a cameo in The Witcher 3, so I'm kinda curious on how they're gonna do that. Especially since there's no way unless they do what Mass Effect 2 style, where they where they have this beginning part where they just ask you who died, what happened, and hopefully unless they just come out and just ask you, did you do this, did you do this? I mean, that's a very good possibility. So, we don't know. I mean, it's all up, honestly, we've seen gameplay footage of this, and this without a doubt is, it's this and Mass Effect. These are my two favorite series. I know I was just talking about how much I love Metal Gear. I honestly love this way more than I love anything else. This is my favorite game. Sometimes, when I saw this at E3, I would watch the gameplay trailer 6 times. I was so... And I don't get excited for games as often as I used to, but I'm so excited for them. And you can agree with me.
Oh yeah.
And Nick G, Xbox 360, well, you can play it on your PC if you have a good enough PC to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just want to get that far. I'd be spraying all my golden ale and hookers, so.
I have to admit, in Witcher, there was a couple times when I'm just I got some money to watch some sex. But I have some money for some hookers. Geralt deserves it.
You spend the entire half of the game looking for your fucking girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. When I was able to have sex with her, they have an option where you're like, you want to have sex? I was like, yes, I'm gonna make him say that.
And of course, I don't know about your story, but my story ended with a lot of sex with different things.
Really?
Yeah.
I had sex with one weird goat lady, and
I had sex with her.
I'm trying to remember if I fucked anything else.
I had sex with, a certain character's assistant that left her later.
Oh, you fucked her? I didn't fuck her. I pissed her off, and I think I ended up fighting her. She's like, maybe we can come to an agreement. I was like, no, you're a bitch. But, here's another story that little Nikki G, because I don't know why, but like I said, it's kind of a slow news week, so Nikki G, you'll be able to have fun with this. Activision's, World of Warcraft subscribers have gone down by, 600,000 in like 3 months. It's got 7.7 million, which, oh, boo fucking who. You have over 7 million subscribers, but whatever. I would fucking slaughter somebody for that money, but, whatever. Last quarter was 8.3 million, but it's just showing people are getting tired of World of Warcraft, basically. They're talking about their peak had more than, when Mist of Pandaria, apparently last September, they had over 12 million subscribers. So it seems like, people are just losing interest pretty quick. That just leads to me with a couple of things for you, Nikki G, since you're basically our MMO person. Are the free-to-play MMOs gonna kill Warcraft?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends. I mean, they have a lot of them coming out nowadays, and I mean, there was another one that's supposed to be going somewhat contest up against World of Warcraft, but I don't know if it'll do the same kind of business. I mean, it's kind of those things where they might be losing a lot of money at this point, but, they're still doing good. I mean, they got WoW, Diablo, StarCraft. I mean, Blizzard, although, they're losing money on Warcraft, they're not gonna die exactly just yet.
They're not losing any money, really. I mean, yeah, they lost a few $1 million, but in their overall, profit margins, I mean, first of all, it's, Activision and Blizzard are one company, and those guys are rolling in the fucking money. They're like Scrooge McDuck jumping in piles of gold at this point. Because Activision has the Call of Duty that just, every time a new one comes out, it breaks records. And then they got the Warcraft, on the other hand, which, has 7.7 million subscribers right now. Then they have the Diablo and StarCraft. When those come out, people just lose their minds. And then, that just makes me, hope that Activision, with all its money, can fund the smaller projects, which they tend to do, actually. They tend to fund the smaller projects, which, are just kind of shots in the dark, which, people hate EA and Activision and Ubisoft and, all those big companies, but I'm like, we need to have them around, people. Yeah, they may be kind of bloodsuckers at times, but they're the ones that fund projects like, what Suda51 wants to do and what, those smaller tiered, less, the less big blockbuster games, so we're not just getting Call of Duty each year, we're getting, a bunch of different fucking games. So I'm all for it, and yeah, honestly, I like what the news article asked. They're like, we wonder what, with this loss in numbers, and, what happened with, like the Old Republic and other games that have now gone to free to play. Is the Elder Scrolls online game, is that just, do you think that's just going to be an automatic free to play? I don't know. I mean, if it's free to play, I mean, I will be happy. I mean, I'm going to check it out regardless, because it's always going to come with that 30-day trial. And then if it's really good, I may actually end up spending money each month for it. But it all depends. I don't know. What do you think about that, Nikki G, since you are a big MMO dude?
Well, I think they'll probably start off as, you have to pay for it. I mean, it's kind of like the same route that Star Wars The Old Republic went. And then, depending on their numbers, they might end up going free to play.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I love the free to play thing, especially with MMOs. I think it's like the most brilliant idea. You make people pay the $60 to have the game. They have to have the game. They can't just like, oh, it's a free download. No. I mean, those exist out there, like I think Lord of the Rings and all that. That's all just free. but like, like Guild Wars style, where it's free to play, and you can have microtransactions. There's nothing wrong with microtransactions in the game, unless, well, you want to beat that giant dragon? You have to pay us money to get the only sword that can kill it. That would be kind of sketchy, but like, you and me, Nicky G, we did the review for, Spartacus free-to-play game. I know it's not an MMO, but it's free-to-play. And it's completely playable without, paying money. I haven't spent a single cent in it, and I've been able to get, past the first 3 areas. But, it's just one of those games where the way they keep you going is just up the difficulty so you don't fly through it, of course. So I love the free-to-play thing, and I think, today's day and age, we're seeing a lot more of that. So, what news do you got, Nicky G?
Alright, well, here's some small news, but, apparently the Navy is using the Kinect game to address the, sexual assaults they have, which, I'm not sure if you guys have heard a lot about this, but, there have been a lot of sexual assaults, especially in the Navy, because a lot of time it's, it's more of a, trying to think of the better word for it, but I'll say someone higher up in the ranks, they'll sexually assault someone in lower ranks, and then, because they're a higher rank, the person who's got sexually assaulted can't do anything about it,
Mm-hmm.
And so basically nowadays they're using a program called, Avatar-Based Sexual Assault Prevention and Respond Training. So basically, it's just gonna allow them to deal with this, and I don't know, what do you guys think about this?
What kind of sexual assault are we talking about, Nick? Because, honestly, you say Navy sexual assault, I'm thinking prison. I'm thinking it's like, hey, you the new guy, Private. Get over here and polish the pole.
Navy's not just all guys.
Well, I know it's not full of guys, and I'm actually quite surprised, because, honestly, I've known a couple of people, actually, who've been in the Navy, and honestly, if you have to pick a military branch to go to, I have to say the Navy. And I know you're automatically thinking, well, that's a boat with a bunch of dudes. No, guys, they go to all the ports where prostitution is legal. And if prostitution's legal, means they actually, they give them medical and stuff. So you go to Spain, prostitution's legal. Why are you sexually assaulting anybody? Just go to the port, you get your jollies off, and then you go right back onto the ship, and then everything's good. I'm quite surprised the Navy's the one doing it, because, like, honestly, I actually know someone who was in the Army, and he actually got kicked out of the Army because he sexually assaulted a girl, so I'm quite amazed. I did not know this was a problem, though. How exactly are they using the Kinect? Are they just having the Xbox on all the time?
Basically, the system's going to allow for a subject matter experience to determine the appropriate response to both vertical and not vertical. both verbal and nonverbal clues for students to receive improved feedback regarding their actions.
Huh.
So it's going to put them in...
the Kinect's on the whole time, right, Brandon?
So the Kinect's on the entire time.
Kinects don't turn off.
Do they? Oh, they don't?
Nope.
I'm so glad I don't have one of those. Oh my god, that's just creepy as hell. Oh god. I did not know that was a thing going on, and I don't know, what do you think about that, Nick?
It makes no difference to me.
All I have to say is, you may be listening to this, sir, but one of our good friends, do not start raping chicks. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught, buddy. You know who I'm talking about, because you're the only friend of ours who's in the Navy currently. Don't do it, dude. I know your mentality. I know what kind of horn dog you used to be, at least. You're a married man, damn it.
Let's hope Devin's not listening to this one.
Oh, I doubt she on the real high chance she is.
Hi.
Don't worry, Devin.
Your husband used to be a man whore.
Yeah, he was a man whore at one time, and believe me, we can't even look at his ex-girlfriend the same way without laughing.
I can't even... I couldn't even get in the backseat of his truck.
Oh, God. Yeah, so Cameron, you be on your best behavior. Yeah, we called you out, buddy.
We'll send you Connect.
we're sending you a Connect. We're gonna keep an eye on you.
All expenses paid through Brandon.
Yes, exactly. Don't worry. There's a Connect in my place, so they won't miss it. Oh,
Maybe it's not Connect. No.
not a chance. I don't
The
know.
Navy confiscated it for medical reasons.
The military needed it just to make sure somebody wasn't raping anybody. Oh God, yeah, that. I did not know that was an issue. I mean, I understood. Of course it's an issue in the military, like in any area where a bunch of dudes are under high stress and stuff, and they don't really see a lot of vagina walking around, so even the
They have no other way to get their rocks off.
Yeah, I mean, instead of looking at pictures of their girlfriend or whatever, they see this at that. Honestly, I'm not gonna say military chicks are unattractive, but if they have the short hair, that does nothing for me. But I guarantee if all I had was dudes around me and her, she'd start looking like a fine piece of ass after like a month or so.
She'd start looking like Kate Upton.
Oh God, dude, yeah, I'd start just like, wow, do you look hot? Whew. I mean, and I picture that's what's happening. I'm kind of surprised the high-ranking officers are doing it, but it's also in that point where I'm not surprised at all because they're, they could, power can, a person in a place of power, just not a good thing. I mean, ask Nikki G. I'm in the power of this podcast, and anytime he tries to say anything, he has to go back to the mines.
As long as I'm not getting raped.
Well, I don't know.
Which reminds me,
What?
Nikki G, how do you feel about the Warcraft movie?
Oh God, dude, what? Fucking hell. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm so sick and tired of talking about Warcraft after a while. But yeah, go for it, Nikki G. Tell me.
But I'm curious. I mean, I'm not exactly jumping out of my seat for it, but I'm kind of excited for it. I'm ready to see what they're going to come up with.
Good, because I think you'll be the only one here to actually go see that movie.
Oh,
Probably.
You guys want to hear some other bullshit? Because I didn't pick this as news stories, but okay, there's two news stories going on right now. Ubisoft is kind of in talks about, they're asking the community, who would they want to see play the main character in the movie adaptation of the Watch Dogs? Watch Dogs isn't even fucking out yet, and they're already in talks about a movie.
Michael Fassbender.
What?
Oh, well, yes, he would be a good one. I'd like him, but
For God's sakes, they already have him doing Desmond.
is that movie even still in the works? I haven't heard shit about that.
I think it's still in the works, just not moving very fast.
I don't know. I know I was so happy when they scrapped the Uncharted movie, so they may scrap the,
Oh yeah, like the 20 other video game movies they scrapped in the last 2 years.
honestly. But you know what? Another video game movie they're thinking about making. It's either I can't remember off the top of my head. It's either the Forza or Gran Turismo movie.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Isn't that what the fuck can you even do with that? I mean,
It's pro racing.
I know. It's like it's pro racing. Isn't that what that new fucking Chris Hemsworth movie coming out is basically? It's like that's the best story you could have with it. Oh,
I've never played. Actually, I played Gran Turismo when I was a kid, but
You played
I know
Forza.
Forza for a fact has zero story.
well, it's not even street racing, and you can't even do your some piss poor adaptation of the Fast and Furious. No, it's literally go around this track, race against opponents. That's all that shit is.
Upgrade your car.
I know. Upgrade your car.
Decorate your car with whatever the fuck you want, because fuck you, America.
No, I hate to say it. Those games are literally for car porn enthusiasts. They're just the guys that just oh, look at that. Oh, what kind of engine is that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got a VTEC in there?
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Which, amazingly enough, I have a VTEC in mine. I did not know that.
I know, that's why I said it.
Oh,
VTECs are kind of, worthless now.
yeah, whatever. I don't really care. My car's been kind of a dick to me as of late. As I said in the last podcast, it's just and people who know me have known I've gone through even more expenses with that fucking car. But, whatever.
Hey, you listen to the fortune cookie, so
The fortune
things will
cookie-
turn out right.
I could have got I got a good deal on the car, but still, it's just kind of well, in retrospect, it's turning into a less of a deal, but whatever. Yeah. It's just, those games are car porn. I mean, unless, that's all you show in the movie. There's no actors, they just show videos of cars driving really fast. I mean, that's all you could do. Oh. All I can say is, what the fuck, Hollywood? What other news you got, Nikki G?
Well, this next piece was it's kind of for more if Dustin was here, but he's in the mines right now, so.
He backtalked me. He's like, hey, can we continue doing more of the Symphony of Night playthroughs? I'm like, maybe. To the mines with you. No! What do you think? Why do you think no one sees Scott anymore?
Who?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, seriously, who are we talking about?
But
yes, we killed his memory.
Basically, the head title was just PlayStation 4 will reserve 3.5 gigabytes of its 8 gigabyte RAM for the operating system. So, if Dustin ever gets back on from out of the mines, we'll talk about this.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's really big into the tech side of things with those consoles, as probably people who may have caught on to when we were talking about the Xbox One and stuff. Him and we went on for quite some time just talking about the the tech and all that. And yeah, I saw that same news article and I didn't choose it because, well, he's working right now, so it's hard to get him on sometimes. So, in the mines, of course. Yeah, I also saw something about the Sony. They're being really. Sony is being just this wonderful company. They actually gave a 1 year free software try, basically a 1 year for free, just gives all the developers their software to work with for a full year, no charge. I'm like, God damn you, Sony, you are showing Microsoft what's up. Cause,
the only, they already have this next generation in the bag. Now they're just being, assholes to Microsoft.
Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, we already wiped your nose in our shit, Microsoft. Oh, you're trying to get back and good with people? Microsoft, we're already good with people. Now we're gonna get in good with the developers. Oh, I just wish, I really wish, guys, that Sony's main studio and Microsoft's main studio are right across the street from each other, just so Sony can unveil a big old fucking middle finger to them and just be like, yeah.
They start a post-it war.
I know. Honestly, Sony is just kicking ass, and I'm not. And people, if you people I've already mentioned before, I don't own Nintendo because I'm not the biggest Nintendo person, but I own both PS2, Xbox 360, and a PS3. I have no loyalty to any company, but Sony is really kind of like, hey Brandon, you don't have any loyalty, and they're just they're doing really hugging me close to them. We'll keep you safe, whispering in my ear, don't worry, your wallet's safe. They're just being on my good side. They're giving me free games for being with them. They're, without a limited time. They're just like, hey, every month we're giving you a free game. We're not even going to announce it. We're going to keep it a mystery. Actually, they give me free arcade games all the time. I mean, they're just sweethearts. I'm really starting to like them a lot.
And then there's those people who, refuse to get the PS4 because of, crappy games like Halo.
Yes. Like one of the two members of our podcast that are currently in the mines. No, if I remember correctly, Dustin is saying, Dustin's still kind of up in the air, but I think he's going with Xbox One. And Scott is, Halo whore, so, I mean, he's literally, and whatever, it's his money, I'm not gonna tell him how to spend it. He's,
one of the people I work with straight up said, and I think Brandon will know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
the bear.
Yes, okay, yes.
He doesn't want a PS4 because Xbox has better exclusives like Gears of War and Halo.
Alright.
And you know what? That's all he could name.
Yeah, they have Gears. The only exclusive that had my kind of oh fuck, I wish I could play that, was that Rise. The Rise Son of War, the Roman game, where you're like, oh, you get to play as a Roman, you get to play as a centurion soldier, and that's fucking awesome in my opinion. Gears of War.
The only problem is what I saw from that game is it's basically a cutscene.
People say that it really, when I heard from people who actually played the game that were at E3, they're like, okay, that video did kind of hurt that game because when you play it, it is kind of more of a hack and slash. It's more of a hack and slash type of game, but you have it's more of a cinematic hack and slash is what they were saying. It was like.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, cutscenes are good and all, but I don't want an entire game of cutscenes.
True, I agree with that. I agree with that as well. But then again, Sony kind of has me with their, their futuristic kind of, what is that? The Order 1866 or 1886 or something like that? You know what the one with the fucking werewolves?
The steampunk werewolf
Steampunk werewolves. I'm like, okay, sorry guys, that's way cooler. So Sony has that, so.
Is that exclusive?
That's exclusive to Sony.
Oh, what up?
Yeah, so.
And plus, I know the PS4 has a lot of, extended content in all the games.
It has a lot of extended content. It gets a lot, if you're big on the Japanese development, it gets a lot of those. It gets basically, honestly, Gears of War kind of lost me with the Judgment, so I kind of don't give a shit about Gears anymore. And
that's probably because Epic didn't make it.
Well, Epic Games, yeah. And plus Cliffy B, I don't like to pronounce his last name. Cliffy B left Epic, so I'm kind of like, I don't know how good their games are going to be anymore. I don't know how much his hands were in those games. So, I don't know.
Plus, they wrapped up the Gears of War story.
They did. And Halo, I don't give a fuck about Halo. So, honestly, Xbox, everyone's like, well, they have good exclusives. I'm gonna be this guy. I gave, Scott shit for, well, he would have got an Xbox One only for Halo. I'll admit it. If Witcher 3 was gonna be an Xbox One exclusive, I'd probably get an Xbox One, just because I love that game so fucking much. But, it's not, so I don't have to. All right.
And I know it doesn't affect you, but Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, I know. You can.
Yeah. It's no mystery. I'm going for PS4. I mean, sorry, Microsoft, but, fuck me all you want, but I expect a kiss every now and again.
I know. I expect some dinner occasionally.
I like to be kissed before I get fucked.
I know. Hey, can we stop and get something to eat? Because I like to be well fed before I get fucked. And then also as we, before people, I don't want anyone corrected, we all know about Microsoft backing down, but I always think it's hilarious how we have people who are trying to get petitions going, trying to get Microsoft to go back to their original, fucking plan.
Those people want to die.
Those people, literally, they're like, well, Microsoft didn't, apparently they're saying, they didn't tout it correctly. I was like, really? Fucking over your customers? I think that was pretty clear on what they were doing. I think saying you have to, you get charged to trade in, to get a used game or a used game.
And, you have to be connected to the internet.
Oh, no. Well, you have to be online all the time. Who doesn't have internet? People who are moving. Like Nick, you yourself, when you were switching to apartments, you didn't have internet for some time. Actually, no. You lost your internet when you left.
Yeah, I lost my internet for a good 4 months.
Yeah, that would mean you weren't able to play your Xbox at all if they did that. And that's fucking stupid. But anyways, we got some questions from our fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say fans.
Yeah, from our fan. Jason, how's it doing, buddy? Basically, yeah. He has two questions for the show, and his first question is, it's actually a really good one, and one I never heard before, really. It's, what is your favorite in-game reference to another game?
Well, I know The Witcher 2 references Assassin's Creed. I thought that was pretty cool.
Do they?
Yeah. I don't remember what town it is, but if you go to a certain town and it's like a little Easter egg thing, but you can find a dude in white robes in a cart of hay who's dead, and Geralt's just maybe he should have been jumping from rooftops, dumbass.
Actually, Witcher 2 has a couple of those where they have they have one of those things where they make fun of Lord of the Rings a little bit. And that, just one ring to rule them all or something? And then they...
great, now I'm gonna have to walk barefoot up to a volcano.
I know, honestly. It was so fucking awesome. I was just like, The Witcher's pretty good at that. Actually, honestly, you mentioned Assassin's Creed. We all know Assassin's Creed 2 actually has a couple of them. They have, of course...
Me, I'm Mario.
Yes, they have his Uncle Mario who says, it's me, I'm Mario. But they have a Metal Gear reference there, too, which I thought was funny, where he's trying to meet up with Leonardo, and he's like, he says, Ezio, and he looks down, he sees a box, he's like, Leonardo? And then he walks around the corner, he's like, Ezio, what are you looking at? And I was like, that's funny. I got a kick out of that. Nikki G, you got any? I mean, as I try to think of any others I can think of.
Ooh, sorry, Nick, but before I forget this one, in the new DMC Devil May Cry, they kind of make fun of the old Devil May Cries by having Dante put on a wig that makes him look like classic Dante.
Oh yeah, I thought that was just that I loved the ever living shit out of because so many people were bitching about how they changed Dante, and that was kind of I felt like that was the development team saying, "Hey guys, deal with it," you know. Oh my god, just even Dante says like never gonna happen, and he just throws off the wig. I was like, that's funny. Nikki G, got anything off the top of your head?
You just remind me of one of Metal Gear, but it was actually on World of Warcraft. There was this quest where you were in this mine, and you have to sneak past all the miners and guards and stuff. So you pretty much put yourself in a crate, this box, and you just run around the mine. And then whenever you bumped into someone, they had a little exclamation point and the little alert sound on them, and someone would just look at you and be like, "Oh, wow, look at that, a moving box."
That's awesome. That is pretty cool. I can tell you a game that did something that pissed me off. Basically, the Duke Nukem game that recently came out, it had a bunch of in-game references. Like, they actually showed the Halo Spartan armor, and he just, like, walks in there, like, ours for pussies. And then you'll walk past occasionally, and then eventually you'll see, like, a dead Isaac Clarke all eaten up, and I don't remember what the hell he says. But, eventually he sees, like, a portal gun or something. He's like, not another fucking portal game, And the whole time I'm just thinking, like, dude, they made way better games than you did. I mean, all the games you're trying to make fun of, 800 times better than the piece of shit I'm playing right now. So, fuck you, Duke Nukem. That was like one of those in-game...
Which is saying something for how much you dislike Halo now.
Yeah, well, like, even at the time, I don't really hate Halo, per se. I don't find them the greatest fucking game in the world. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, it has a kind of a nifty sci-fi story, but whatever.
For me, I think, Halo's the opposite of Call of Duty for me, where the story is really shit and generic, but the multiplayer can be fun when playing with friends.
That is your anti-Call of Duty, where you're just like, wow, the multiplayer is fun, but fuck that story.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Call of Duty for me, I am a Call of Duty story whore. I think the story is great, and the multiplayer is just kind of meh.
You're not alone, Nick. You're not alone. You have at least two of us out there who are like, yes, I enjoyed the story quite a bit. Well, what do you think of the online? I'll play it if someone...
And then there's, certain people who have been banished to the mines, like Dustin, who just... What's a story? I've never played the Call of Duty story.
Honestly, I want to slap him in the face, especially Black Ops 2 that has, like, one of my favorite stories in the Call of Duty game ever. And he's just like, yeah, I've never touched it. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, that has choices. God damn you!
Yeah, I think he played the story to Call of Duty 4. And that's it. Yeah,
he played...
Every Call of Duty after, he's like, nah, I don't need it.
And I know, he's not alone in that battle. Actually, they probably outnumber us, that people don't touch the story, than, you and me, that just play it for the story. And it's the only reason why I play the Call. I like the Call of Duties. Don't get me wrong. I do like the Call of Duties, but I like it for the story. I think they have a fun story. I think they're...
Yes. Activision, Treyarch, they make damn good stories.
They do. They're better than what EA's been trying to do with their Call of Duty, or not, their Medal of Honor and their Battlefield stories, because those ones are garbage. I'm like...
Oh, you mean generic modern military shooter?
Yeah, they're literally trying to... It's like they're almost trying to copy what Call of Duty does.
But you say EA, but EA has Spec Ops.
EA is not Spec Ops.
That's 2K.
2K. Yeah, 2K. The only reason why I know that is because Spec Ops is literally sitting right next to me, and I looked down, I was like, oh, that's 2K. Yeah, no, 2K has Spec Ops, and Spec Ops, one of my favorite modern military shooters. Yeah, those are some good answers though that we gave them. We got Assassin's Creed, The Witcher 2. I know we're just honestly, Jason, if you haven't played The Witcher 2, check it out if you have an Xbox or a good running PC. It really is just amazing. If you're into the fantasy RPG action type thing. And now, alright, let me look at the time real quick. Alright, I got about 10 minutes of this, and Jason, I know what you're trying to fucking do, dude. What you're trying to do. You're trying to poke the fire. You think I'm gonna get in on this big old rant when you say, your question is, what do you think about politician anti-gaming statements? Oof.
I say those politicians can go to hell.
Okay. Perfect example of, okay, alright, honestly, I really should have no reason to ever get pissed off of what they do. Because they say those statements like, video games are evil, for one, because usually they do it around election time, because they're trying to get the old people, or like, the old uneducated dumb motherfuckers who, like, literally, I went over to my grandmother's house to eat lunch, because she's like, oh yeah, come over, Brandon, we'll eat lunch together, and I can't say no to free food, and I never really see my grandma sometimes. So I go down to her house, eat some free lunch, and I foolishly make a mistake of bringing up Breaking Bad. And then she starts saying how, like, all those media that show blood and guts and all the video games and movies that show that crap is just dementing our children and young people, trying to get them to mimic it. And those are the type of people those politicians are talking to. Old people who don't know jack shit about what's happening because they're used to watching the sexist version of I Love Lucy and all that crap. Honestly.
And I have to say, I did see something online, they say video games make people violent. What the fuck kind of video game were they playing 3,000 years ago?
I know, honestly. It is the best thing. And I have said this on this show, saying, okay, we used to watch, the Romans, one of the most sophisticated, people back in the time. They used to watch people slaughter each other, And
they didn't have video games.
Yeah, well, they didn't have any video game or TV, or they hardly had books, for fuck's sakes. And yet they watched people just, gut each other in the arena. And I was like, really? Okay. What was Genghis Khan playing? Huh? What did he play? Because he almost take over all of Asia.
Was he playing Donkey Kong?
I know. Was he a big Grand Theft Auto fan? I thought he was really into Mass Effect, maybe.
He had 5 stars.
Honestly, I was like, honestly, it's just.
And hell, if you're gonna get into that, you could say, Risk is corrupting people's minds.
Honestly, well, like CNN, they actually had to come out with an apology, because I always love these anti-video game statements where they, they're like, this video game corrupts people, and then like a week later they're like, we're sorry, we don't know what we're talking about. Happened with Mass Effect 2, when that one bitch came on Fox News and said, Mass Effect 2 is a sex thing, you're trying to influence people. And then it happened.
Oh yeah, that tasteful side boob they show is really turning me into a delinquent.
And then it happened again with Fox News when they tried to attack Bulletstorm, saying, are guys not going to know the difference between sex and murder because they had Drildo or something? Because some of the names in Bulletstorm were... And then CNN got themselves in hot water when they attacked StarCraft 2, a rated teen game, after the Sandy Coast, shooting, which, that was awful, but I doubt he was a big StarCraft fan. I doubt StarCraft's sitting there saying, oh, the only way to stop the aliens is go shoot an elementary school up.
I mean, it's kind of the exact same thing you were saying before. It's just these politicians, they'll come out and say this stuff, and the thing is, they know these bills and all the stuff they're trying to pass, they're not going to pass, they know that. But they're just saying that because they want to have that group where, like, kind of what you're saying, it's for the people who don't know anything about this, and they say these things, and then the parents go, they're trying to protect our children. I should vote for this person.
Exactly. You were exactly right.
You know who's good at protecting their children?
Parents.
The parents of the children. Well, my parents didn't let me play any M-rated games till I was like 15.
Yeah. Well, my parents let me be a little sociopath as a kid. They, so honestly,
we see how well that turned out.
Hey, dude, if the homeless people could talk, I mean, if they had
if Brandon had ripped their tongues out.
Yeah, if anyone cared about what happened to homeless people, then I'd be in hot water. But, if you actually get to know me, people, I can, I'm a pretty nice guy to people, not to random people. I can be kind of an asshole to some new people, but, once you know me, I'm actually a pretty likable guy. I'm not someone who just because I like looking at violence doesn't make me violent in any way. And if you know me, there's no way I'm going to be violent to anybody because...
Yeah, that's why, I like the Smosh made a video making fun of that where someone plays a violent video game and, they think it's going to make him violent, but in reality, he uses that violent video game to calm down and get his aggression out.
I never use violent video games for that. I just, I am still...
Well, I mean, this violent, it's like you take a picture of someone and then it's like one of those obstacle games, and like you fly through the screen shooting obstacles in your way, and the things you're shooting are their head.
Oh.
You explode their head.
But yeah, like with the politicians, like Nikki G was saying, they know it's never going to get past the freedom of speech act. Unless they abolish the First Amendment, there's no way it's happening. I know.
And they'll never get rid of the First Amendment.
Yeah, the First Amendment, I hate to say it to all you gun-toting rednecks, like, what, I hate to say it. I was kind of on the side with the gun-toting rednecks when they're like, I was like, yeah, you don't need to limit the guns until they're like, well, it's the video games. Like, oh, go fuck yourself. Take them all away. Yeah, see? You betray me, I say fuck you. So that's what happens. Eye
for an eye.
Yeah. I mean, I have shot guns. The guns are fun to shoot. I mean, there's no question about it, but
doesn't mean you're gonna go shoot up an elementary school.
Exactly. I don't blame video games or guns, and I shoot guns and I play video games, and I honestly haven't killed a single soul in my life. Yet.
Except for all those bugs. Bugs have souls too.
Oh,
according to PETA.
Oh yeah, according to PETA. Yeah, I squished the ever-living shit out of some bugs. Actually, my sister's that same way. A little sidetrack real quick. My nephew was squishing ants with his feet because, he likes killing bugs like kids do, and my sister flips out like, he's gonna turn into a sociopath. I'm like, how? They're ants.
She's not choking cats.
He's not going up to the dog, punch him in the face. He's squishing an ant. There's nothing bad about it. And those are the type of people I say, you don't know shit, do you? You shouldn't be able to breed. You are so fucking stupid. Oh, yeah, but honestly, it's just to calm down those, the people who are like, oh, the violence in video games and stuff. All I have to say to that, there's more violence in movies and TV than there is in video games. Honestly, in primetime TV now, I'm seeing blood and stuff in it. And
the language barriers are breaking down, because I know they're allowed to say, shit. Much as it's basically primetime TV's turned into a PG-13 movie.
I'm liking it. I'm liking that the freedom of speech is becoming strong. Because you get the freedom of speech strong, guess what? You get your society strong and open-minded. You don't get these, I'm sorry, those old politicians and shit that they're trying to get the vote from the old people, they're stuck back in the fucking 50s, back when you used to say nipple, and they'd be like, oh, did he just say that? Oh, God.
Oh, my God, she's showing her ankles.
I know, literally. I mean, well, in the 50s, they're a little bit better about that, but they're still in that whole, it's the reason why the Republican Party, I hate to get on the politics in this show. I really try not to, people. But, it's just news. I'm not picking sides right now, but the news is the Republican Party has to revamp themselves because they're getting their ass kicked because, let's be honest, all they got are some, they get some of the middle-aged, a lot of the old, and very little of the young.
And all the gun-toting rednecks.
While the middle, why the Democrats, their current area is the young people, a lot of the middle-aged people, and maybe occasionally a couple of the old people. And
I think mostly they get the young people because the young people remember Bush.
Well, yeah, the young people, Like I said, I'm trying not to get into politics here because I don't want any political arguments going on here.
All I can say is, Jason, I think you accomplished your mission.
He did not accomplish. Well, if his mission was to get me all riled up, he failed because I did not get angry. But we did go off on this topic, and congratulations. You got a stock, and you know what? You can use some of our arguments against any people who are dumb enough to believe that. Literally anyone who has ever came out and says it, unless they're a politician, because politicians just kind of sweep that under the rug. But all the news people that come out and say it have to submit apologies because they just come out sounding like idiots. They don't know what they're playing. And honestly, I kind of want to make them play the games because I just want to see them when they're just like, oh fuck, that was actually kind of fun. We're coming up on our hour time now, people. So, anything else you guys want to add?
I like turtles.
He likes turtles. Nikki G.
Nope.
All right, awesome. Like us on Facebook. I mean, there's really no incentive to. I just want to see the likes go up. Go to our website, bloodyscreen.weebly.com, to ask questions like said Jason, to voice your opinion on the comment section, because like I say every show, I will never see them in the YouTube comments, so don't even bother. You can call us anything you want in the YouTube, and we won't see it, so, yep. Yeah, like us on Facebook, subscribe, because we got shit coming out every single day except Saturday, because I choose to. It's my site. I can do whatever I want. That is it, everybody. Tell your friends about us. I want to get more people. I want to get more fans. I want to get more subscribers. I want to get these guys. These guys are going to get more dedicated if they see you guys here. We'll get our own domain. We'll get all this shit. All we need is support from you. You have the power. You have the power. You have everything. I don't know. Someone do a better sign off.
Or we'll send you out.
Good night, everybody.
There.